John Chapman is a former soldier suffering from PTSD. When his sister, a volunteer in a humanitarian organization, is attacked by a Yakuza gang in Brazil, he sets out to track down the criminals. The film opens with John Chapman drinking to his fallen comrades. He then plays Russian roulette with a revolver. John goes to a grocery store to buy some liquor when suddenly, two armed robbers burst into the store. One of them points a gun at Chapman, but the former soldier seems unfazed. He adjusts the robber's rifle to his head and tells him to pull the trigger.
You're crazy. No, crazy, man. Patient.
The Marine then beats up the two robbers and returns the stolen money to the store clerk.
You either shoot me or stop wasting my time. Keep the change.
We then see Chapman at home, firmly battling his PTSD, hyperventilating and engaging in rigorous exercise to distract and focus. The next day, as he sleeps, he hears a knock at the door and discovers it's his sister Cindy.
Écoute Cindy, je m'excuse d'avoir oublié de venir à l'aéroport.
They have dinner together, and Cindy discovers that John hasn't been taking the medication prescribed for his PTSD. John tells her that he's okay and that he hates taking medication. Conversely, he asks Cindy if she's okay. She replies that she is, but her body language suggests otherwise. The next day, Cindy flies to Brazil. The next scene takes place in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Two policemen, one named Katarina, are led to a beach by a favela child, where they find Cindy beaten and bleeding. Fortunately, she is still alive, and Katarina calls for an ambulance. Chapman is informed by veteran diplomat Manny that his sister has been badly beaten. Chapman immediately leaves for Brazil. In the next scene, we see Katarina distributing sodas to the favela's inhabitants when shots are fired. She and her partner rush to the scene and discover that detectives Santo and Baroro have apprehended the suspects. But the residents of the favela quickly turn against the police officers, pointing their guns at them in the blink of an eye. Santo asks them to pit their best fighter against the police, and they make a bet. If the police lose, they leave and release everyone they've arrested. If they win, they'll go and come back until Cindy's attacker is found. Baroro makes short work of the fighter, and Santo assures the townspeople that they'll be back. John meets up with Manny and sees his sister in the hospital. Seeing her condition, he is overcome by black anger and memories of war. Santo joins them, and the detective allows the ex-Marine to investigate the crime scene with Officer Katarina.
Mr. Chapman, my sidearm, please.
Later, when John returns to the hospital, he sees an Asian nurse injecting something into Cindy's IV. John suspects nothing until his sister starts convulsing. The doctors then try to stabilize her and tell Chapman that they don't employ Asian nurses and that it was an attempt to kill Cindy. John is then seen at the place where his sister was found. He investigates a young man hanging around the scene, wearing his sister's necklace.
Where did you get the necklace?
John learns that the young man, Kuka, is one of the people Cindy helped during her work in the favelas and that the necklace was a gift from her. Kuka gives Chapman Cindy's diary, some pages of which have been suspiciously torn out. He rubs a page and reveals a secret hidden in the diary. He calls the number and makes an appointment with the man on the other end of the line, Bruno. Bruno informs him that Cindy is investigating the disappearance of little girls in the favelas. She has arranged a meeting with someone who could break the case wide open and has asked Bruno to take photos of the meeting. Bruno says he gave Cindy the original photos and would keep the copies as insurance. Chapman is still able to steal them. As Bruno goes to sit in the car, it explodes, triggering Chapman syndrome. Near the crime scene, he sees an Asian woman who looks exactly like the nurse. She flees in her car after John chases her and is then attacked by unknown gunmen. John manages to defend himself, but the gunmen in the car eventually escape. Later, Chapman and Manny go through the photos he's managed to obtain. They realize that the Yakuza might be involved and head to a nightclub with Yakuza ties. Arriving there, John confronts the man in the photos, DJ Lima. The man explains to Chapman that he is a smuggler and that Cindy was able to catch him in the act of dealing and confront him about it. Unfortunately for her, Lima's client was also observing the scene and is probably behind the attack on Cindy. Lima then tells Chapman where to find the client, and Chapman leaves with Manny. Meanwhile, Santo launches a violent raid into the favelas to kill all the wanted criminals. His hit squad wreaks havoc in the favelas, killing several people without remorse. Chapman goes to the extravagant villa Lima has shown him. There he finds an exorbitant display of wealth and women and several people who appear to be highly placed and influential. The Asian woman is also present, and one of the guards leads Chapman to a balcony at the back. Looking over the balcony, Chapman spots a black van carrying young girls to the mansion. Chapman recognizes one of them as Kuka's sister. Suddenly, the guard attacks him from behind, but the Marine easily eliminates him. Back in the favelas, a policeman finds some Yakuza loading young girls into a van.
Freeze!
Down! Asian man, mental injuries in custody. Repeat, hold position.
Santo and Baroro enter the scene, and the policeman informs them of the situation.
Ce flingue est enregistré?
Santo is about to shoot the criminal when he suddenly points his gun at the young policeman and shoots him in the head. It then transpires that Santo and Baroro are working with the Yakuza who tried to murder Cindy.
Our price just doubled.
We discover that Santo ordered the raid not to eliminate criminals, but to get rid of anyone Cindy might have told about their pedophile ring.
The American girl? Everyone she could have talked to is dead.
Good. Meanwhile, Big Bad Hirimoto orders the Yakuza woman to finish the job at the hospital and kill Cindy. He then interrogates Lima and kills him with a sword. Hirimoto then tells Santo and Baroro that Chapman is causing problems at home, and the detectives tell him they'll take care of it. Next, Chapman is cornered by the brothel guards, but he takes care of them. Santo and Baroro arrive on the scene, and Chapman explains what's happening. Santo seems intent on killing Chapman, but Katarina and her partner come in turn, crippling the doubly treacherous detective. Chapman then shows them where the children are being kept, but to his surprise, he discovers that the room is entirely empty. Santo asks Chapman to hand over the briefcase containing the sensitive shipping manifests, which Chapman accepts because, at this stage, he doesn't know that Santo is in league with the Yakuza. As Chapman prepares to leave, he remembers a crucial detail.
Mr. Chapman, why don't you give me Mr. Lima's briefcase? We'll handle it from here.
He follows the detective to the docks. Meanwhile, the Yakuza assassin is about to unplug Cindy when Katarina shoots her.
I forgot. Freeze, police, all that stuff.
Chapman reaches the docks, where he finds a contingent of mercenaries, Santo Baroro and Hirimoto, preparing to embark for Japan. He calls Manny to inform him of the situation and asks for reinforcements. Chapman enters the warehouse and starts kicking asses, taking out several henchmen single-handedly in an incredible display of fighting prowess. Santo and Baroro attack him in turn. Baroro enters the scene. An astonishing fight scene ensues, with many exchanges between the detective and the ex-Marine. Baroro displays incredible athleticism, but Chapman manages to overpower him. Santo then breaks free and attacks Chapman, but the soldier quickly defeats him. Baroro and Santo rise to their feet at the same time. Chapman stares at them both. The three attacks at the same time, and an exciting battle ensues. Chapman is in great danger and finds himself pinned back. Nevertheless, he manages to unleash a storm of punches on Santo. He then disables Baroro. Chapman then faces Hirimoto one-on-one. The Marine starts using 2 ceramic pipes as bludgeons and fights Hirimoto, who is brandishing a sword. The Yakuza leader manages to inflict a cut on Chapman.
You put up a better fight than your sister.
This infuriates John, who explodes on Hirimoto and celebrates. Hirimoto gets up, but Chapman shoots him repeatedly. As he's about to die, Santo denies any involvement in Cindy's near-fatal assault, hands Chapman the key to a locker full of incriminating evidence, and asks for a gun to unalive himself.